Hello, everyone. Happy Monday morning, 1 week before Memorial Day. How is everyone doing? By the way, Memorial Day can't come fast enough for me. Can't come fast enough for me. But that's a topic for another time. Good morning, Ro. First one in. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, John. Good morning, Martinez. Yeah, you go. It's the rest. Netanyahu. Yay. Boy. I just everything's upside down. Everything's upside down in this world. So we may live in an upside down world. 56% of registered voters support deporting most or all immigrants living in the country illegally. Yeah, pretty much. Hello, Charles. Apple slashing iPhone prices in China. Good morning, Heinrich. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Heinrich. Watch out below on next earnings, still dealing with theft, and now this target to reduce prices on 5,000 frequently shopped items. Well, are we getting some? That's somewhat actually deflationary, but maybe just disinflation. Let's see. I mean, if you looked at the last CPI report, eating food at home went down a slight bit, but eating out more expensive. More expensive. Good morning, Richard. How about the Mavs and Stars? 40 years in Dallas. That's your Stars fan. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to see who else I missed here. Good morning, Jacob. Did I say? Yeah, I got Jacob. Nvidia shares rise after at least two brokerages rise price target on stock. Price power. Yeah, Bostic. That's a perfect transition. Bostic speaking now. Look, today we got Bostic, we got Barr, we got Waller, we got Jefferson, we got some auctions, and we got Bostic again. As if one speech was not enough for Bostic today. Tomorrow we've got Redbook and Barkin, Waller, Williams, Bostic, Barr, Bostic, Collins, Mester. I hope Bostic's drinking some like lemon, maybe some tea with some honey and some lemon so his voice doesn't go. He's doing a lot of speaky speaks. Wednesday, we got the FOMC minutes. Yay. We got crude numbers. Let's see, we have the supreme leader of Iran. Helicopter went down and is dead. So, going to be elections in Iran. Do they require voter ID in Iran? Just wondering. They probably do. I mean, are we the only clown show that doesn't? Thursday, we got jobless claims. We got S&P manufacturing. Yeah, we got Bostic again. Well, Bostic's really ripping it up with the speaky speaks this week. We got Kansas City Fed. It's overall a quiet week besides the FOMC and anything the Fed says. And then we got durable goods on Friday. That's one of the biggest numbers out this week. And we got the final Michigan consumer sentiment and inflationary numbers. And then remember, next Monday, there won't be a live stream. There will just be a day off for Memorial Day in the USA. But today is just quiet. Besides Fed speak, let's see. S&P, Nvidia up on price target. Sterling put in the chat price target. But you also got other things like Micron up, probably in sympathy with it. Apple down slightly. Sort of mixed. We're getting into a toppy little bit potentially with the cycles going into Memorial Day. And by the way, I'm going to be on Ninja Trader this morning. Going to be on Ninja Trader at 10:30 Eastern Time. So if you're not sick of me already, you can always tune in. Let's see. The groups, let's just do a quick refresh. Technology leading it higher, comm services, and real estate lagging. Boy, I think I might do a separate live stream just sometime, maybe even today. So if you want to hear my thoughts, I saw over 15 open houses this weekend, talked to brokers, did a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to waste everybody's time because not everybody's interested in real estate. But I am seriously worried for people. I am seriously worried. So if you want to hear thoughts, because also this can tie in with viewpoint on if we if we're not already in a recession. If we hit a recession, people are still treating their houses like piggy banks, or that everything's going to be dandy. But I'll leave that. I just might make a quick thumbnail. Is anybody good at making thumbnails in here? Is anybody good? Because I could use some help with some thumbnails. At least one. Maybe I'll make one for real estate. But if anybody wants to help or can come up with some ideas, just reach out to me, please. Fed watch. We are still slightly favoring that first cut in September. Again, a couple agents said, "Oh, there's still going to be like 6 cuts this year." I'm like, 6 cuts? We don't. And they're like, "Oh yeah, they're even going to cut." I'm like, I don't even know if they'll cut into September. Then they said, "Well, they'll cut in the October meeting." I'm like, you're telling people this, and there is no October meeting. And they were shocked to hear that one. People just parrot stuff back. They don't even do their own research. By the way, we're still in solving and greed mode. All right, what else we got? We'll get to earnings in a second. Hey, good morning, Anissa. All right, Waller does not comment on monetary policy or the economic outlooks. Phew. We got some Bitcoin stuff. The U.S. opposes global tax on billionaires. Fed open to all possibilities, many economic scenarios. Why do we have like 400 PhDs in the Fed? And what do these people offer? Open to all possibilities. Well, okay. What are you offering us for what do we pay these clowns over $400,000 a year? I don't get it. Earnings, we got, Zoom this afternoon. I'll be on Zoom with NinjaTrader. We got Palo Alto Networks. We got Macy's tomorrow. Let's see how that's doing from a consumer's perspective. But the bigger one is Lowe's. Remember, we had Home Depot last week. We got AutoZone. Is always an interesting one to watch, even if you don't trade it from a fix-it-yourself car consumer aspect. Then we got Toll Brothers. I'm actually really interested in that after doing my deeper dive into housing recently. Target on Wednesday. And we had Walmart blasting off last week. Sterling mentioned Target slashing prices on 5,000, and I did not see that, so thank you, Sterling. Big one this week, though. The huge one. No, and it's not Snowflake. The huge one is NVIDIA. NVIDIA, especially with their guidance. NVIDIA rocketing. We're still in double top territory. So let's see how that ends up. Then it sort of dies down. Not much on really important on Thursday. And really, Friday, I'm going to be headed into long weekend mode early. I'm telling you right now. So my theme, I know everybody already knows my theme on Friday. Don't do anything stupid. There, you don't have to tune in on Friday now. I've saved you some time. Let's see what else. Good morning, options 22. That's a double top on 15 and validation on downside on MES. Lock up that creature from Jekyll Island. I agree. MES. The micros? Oh, you did on the micro. I don't normally cover the micro in here. Did this qualify on the minis, though? I don't think it qualified on the minis. I was looking at that. On the minis, see, this has not gotten above. It has to actually push above 53. This is a great transaction. Thank you, Heinrich. Really, I want to say to everybody, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate everyone. If we start pushing about 53, 38, 25 into the open, that takes us into potential mini double top territory. And just on the aggressive side targets, let's just see where that, I bet you it takes us back to our just a key support. Look at that. The prior breakout level. So, really, and I don't know why I'm getting these object things. They started to appear, and I already looked at my extensions, and nothing's set up incorrectly. So if somebody else knows about that, please let me know who's using TradingView. So really, if it starts breaking down, let's also see here. If we do the bigger retracements from this key spike low, look where the 62.5 is. Look at this. Now, we aren't technically in double top territory, but yeah, look where the 62.5 is. Look where the aggressive target is, and look where the prior breakout level is. That's a really strong magnet if we start trading, not necessarily even today, but if we start trading below this 53.05 area, the really strong cluster is back to about 52.65 area. Just keep that in mind. That is an area I would not ignore. Okay? Other than that, the minor target, if we get through this 53.38, would be about 53.43 and then a return to the highs. If it breaks out, I have forward harmonics. So let me just see where this goes. If we do the, maybe I'll be able to talk about this a little more on Ninja. Maybe because I'm going to show the whole futures platform on Windows, not the web platform today. So I can do some extensions. Let's see if that runs into the conversation at all. But I'm using from this key spike low on Tuesday the 14th. The next key target, if we do break out higher, is 53.65.50 for me. That's where these extensions come in real handy. And then the next major target is 54.12 if this trend keeps marching on. If you look at the bigger perspective, because the 4-hour rotation zone would be out of the way for this spike low, so then you see this could easily take us just back into the daily rotation zone. Longer term, there's nothing stopping this trend yet. Well, I am getting a little cautious up here. We've got daily cycles headed down, and on the weekly basis, we have weekly cycles still heading up, but getting into that toppy area, so they should be topping this week. Okay? So that's just what I'm watching on the bigger perspective. The NASDAQ, again, the NASDAQ is not in double territory. You did get a little 1-hour close above the 62.5, but I'm really focused on the 4-hour close. Have not been able to get the 4-hour close above 18,679.75. Remember, 4-hour and daily are very key with the 62.5. Don't get caught in the minutia. If you do close above it on shorter levels, make sure it follows through with that 4-hour and daily close. It needs to get above this 18.7 area, 18,708, to get into potential double top territory. So that's key. The key low then would be this 18,545. Now, again, as I mentioned on the S&P about that possibly triggering a double, if it does not trigger, this is going to be very key support. If it validates a double but does not trigger it, that's going to be very key support. Make sure it follows through. Like crude validated a double bottom but has not triggered yet last time I looked, which was about 30 minutes ago. Other than that, targets 18,733. Well, it's 18,708, then 18,733, then to the highs. Then it would be the little mini reverse harmonic breakout. On the bigger picture, the key pullback area I'm watching is really about 18,350 if we start breaking down. The minor pullback area I'm watching, I'll put the line on here, this is a very significant area, is 18,580 to 18,6. 18,580, and it just so happens to be the daily rotation zone too. So on any pull, this is why I cannot get overly aggressive with any shorts in the NASDAQ, because reward to risk will be very tight right there. The Dow 40K, yay. Dow cash 40K. Now the Dow, this is technically a little mini double. And I say very mini double because if you look here, that potentially, again, against the rotation zone, so it just potentially takes us back to the daily rotation zone. That's not a big topping pattern. Against pretty key resistance here in the Dow futures. There's significance at 40,145 to 155. So if it breaks above there, 40,358 is the next magnet price. What else? Speaking of Ninja, I'm trying my hand at prop trading again. Is there a way to save favorites like harmonic retracement? Yes, there is. If you can save it on the web platform, but if you're really doing stuff besides emergence, trying to adjust positions, yes, there are ways to do it on Ninja. There are ways to do it on Ninja. Let's see. Here. There's the magic Ninja. See, I got the extensions. I got the retracements. If you just come in here and then you come down to template, you can set up your levels. And you come down here to template, you can save. And you can save multiple templates. You can even, so I have the doubles. See, if you come down here, if I hit template and load, I have harmonic extensions. I have doubles. So you can save them as two different templates. Sorry for getting sidetracked if you don't use it, but that is the way you can do it. All right, back to TradingView. Russell still has not been able to, stalled out at the 75% harmonic and this very significant level. Still, Russell's not setting up a great pattern at this point. So support for me is about 2086, 2085, and key resistance at this place is 2120. VIX, again, still no fear. Going into cycle tops with VIX all the way at the bottom, and we could be getting into cycle bottoms on the VIX. Why did this reset, by the way? Sorry about that. So I'm in cautious mode. But any pullback still is a minor pullback. The trend is still up. It could lead to more, and I'm expecting at some point something to lead to more. But we don't have anything yet. By the way, the DAX, we have a little mini confirmed, but not triggered double. See, it confirmed it by trading below there, but did not follow through with the trigger, and it got caught on the rotation zone. So the only thing that puts me in very short-term pullback for the DAX is the close below 18,736. That's why you got to be careful with the trading against the rotation. So you got to be nimble. You just don't take it for granted. All right. Other than that, if you're trading the DAX, just use your short-term harmonics right here. So it came back up between the 50 and the 62.5. If you close above 18,902, then I look to target the prior high area. Other than that, I'd possibly watch for a short-term little stalling out or rollover right around there. The notes, still after returning to very key resistance, breaking back down. My key support area for the notes, if it continues, is right around 108.16. The yield coming up to a best fit. Trend line is technically a best fit because it cuts through this wick and also the rotation zone. So I really need to get above about 4.45 to get in bullish mode on the micro yields. 4.45. Other than that, this is getting into a very key resistance area, and I'll be watching for a stronger bottoming pattern. Dollar index holding right at that 200. Gonna be seeing if this does pull back and makes a double bottom. Other than that, if it snaps above and follows through with a close above 104.39, the target area, the major target is 104.71, but that's going to be very tight from my perspective on reward to risk because we got a lot of resistance in the way. I'm actually watching for a stronger bottoming pattern on there. Crude confirmed the double on the daily, but did not trigger it yet. And there's a lot of overhead resistance here. So if crude turns back down, this will just turn into a sideways channeling pattern. That does not mean it can't be forming a longer term base in here. Remember, on the weekly basis, in this area, we have some major potential support. So crude is still patient, with especially with daily cycles at the top. We could easily come back down, test these support areas again before anything else. If you haven't been watching it, Natty Gas, I don't cover it all the time, but Natty Gas has been in stealth mode. Okay, back above the 200, really pay attention to 2.85. 285 on Natty Gas. It's getting very overbought, but now supports back at 2.46. Gold, you still have a potential double top. The key level I'll be watching, again, we're long-term. Well, I'm long-term bull. I'm long-term bull on gold. This is a great place to use your reverse harmonics, because then we know what invalidates the double. Why is this not working? There we go. 2489.7. Other than that, this is if you're even a short-term or medium-term gold trader, I'd pay attention to the lows from Friday the 3rd of May. Other than that, the trend is still higher. You can see the double top on the weekly basis. You can see it very well. So that's a very key trailing area. And we are pushing up higher, sort of, unless gold gets some key momentum fast, we could be setting up a divergence, which means it doesn't have to trigger the double. We could stall out here for a little bit of time. Silver to the moon. We went from meme stocks to the silver squeeze. Isn't that the pattern that was repeating years ago? Well, years. I mean, we've gone to the silver squeeze. So Wall Street silver should be happy. We're stalling out on Friday, and we spiked up, but today the harmonic at this 31.89 is very key. We are significantly overbought with cycles at the top, so I'm watching for a shorter term, at least pause to pullback mode. Copper, by the way, if this is actually copper, technically still in double top territory, technically just barely, but technically there. But this is going to have silver's more of a squeezy from a contract, not necessarily from a mining perspective, but copper from a mining perspective can stay elevated for some time. That doesn't mean it has to keep running up. You can see it's very key. Long-term areas are up here. It's actually above them, but this could stay elevated, which would really put some interesting aspects into the future PPIs that could roll into CPIs if it can get passed along. Go McLaren. Well, you used to be able to see the McLaren car before I moved that sat behind me. Yeah, McLaren, Lando making it interesting. Giving Verstappen a little run for his money going into the final few laps in Italy. So we could get some more interesting. We could get some interesting turnaround this season. What else do we have? Silver. I did not know that, Rich. Silver surpasses Bitcoin to become the 8th largest asset by market cap. Thank you for sharing that. Again, welcome, 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 Rich. Not here every day. Well, maybe he's not in the chat every day, but thank you for tuning in. What else do we have going into the open? Speaking of the good old Bitcoin, still the key level is 67,256 on a closing daily basis. Not there yet. The spiders, not invalidating the double just yet. The key very key resistance is 530. Very key resistance is 530. Keep an eye on the futures for the double, because with a gap up, you could get in a double minor, very minor double top territory on the spiders. But if it gets above 52.30, the overall big double is off the table. Support is watch 5.30, then 5.29.57, and then Friday's lows. The Qs, slight gap up. Very key support in the Qs at 452.75. Very key resistance at 452.75. Very key support coming in at 452, right where we're opening. If we start breaking below there, Friday's lows are going to be very key. 449.50 area. Tesla, not really much to talk about. Nvidia, we have the price target upgrades. Nvidia still in week going into earnings. Massive weekly double top territory. Remember, earnings are on Wednesday afternoon. Looking at the open. Looking at the open. We're traded down. We're trading down. Let's check the tick. Very flat opening. Very flat opening in the tick. So let's see on the tick bounce. On the tick bounce, if what the S&P can do. Because now your key resistance. So for the shorter term traders, you can see this was key support. Ran up, formed a nice mini double top there. Sold off, sold below key support. That's now resistance. So I'd be looking at this 53.30 with the tick going into the open for any tick bounces. Then above that, your next key area. This is very key, but the next key area on any bounce would be 53.32. And before I could get anywhere short term, more aggressively bullish to retest this 53.36 area would be 53.33.25 on at least a 15-minute closing basis. That's exactly how I'd map that out to the upside this morning. To the downside, as I went through before, here's, if you're looking for the micro levels, 53.25, 50, and then major is just off this micro area is 53.21. Euro US dollar, you have dark screen wants the Euro US dollar. Well, I did not, I skipped the currencies today. Euro US dollar stalling out right at the 50% harmonic. You got to map this out. Again, don't assume. Don't make the, oh, it looks like a double. Always, because things I've thought in the past, hey, that's got to be a double. It was slightly missed, but this did get into double territory. All right. So your only thing is that key low. The key low of 108.35. And that's right against the daily rotation zone. Look at that, how that sets up. Why am I getting objects? Those are driving me crazy. To figure that out. So that's your euro. The yen, still very pay attention to 157.09. All right, with that, I have to now do some things with the open and then get ready for Ninja in 1 hour. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and I will talk to you later. Well, maybe I'll do that real estate live stream. So keep an eye on the channel. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe so you get notified and ring that bell for all notifications. And please like this video on the way out. We need to get some more likes. Oh, thank you, Anissa. I will see you at the Ninja Workshop too. Anissa's always a regular at Ninja Trader. So thank you very much, Anissa. Everyone have a wonderful trading day. Talk to y'all later. Bye for now. You take care also, Legion Reaver.